The wrestling world stood still today as Liv Morgan, one of WWE's brightest stars, stepped into the ring to deliver news that left the entire arena in stunned silence. What began as an ordinary show quickly turned into one of the most emotional nights in wrestling history. Liv, known for her infectious energy and indomitable spirit, walked to the ring with tears in her eyes, holding a microphone in trembling hands. It was clear from the moment she stepped through the curtain that something was deeply wrong. For weeks, fans had speculated about Dominik Mysterio, whose absence from recent shows had sparked countless rumors. Some said he was dealing with injuries sustained in his last match, while others believed he was taking time off to recharge. But no one was prepared for the truth, a truth that Liv Morgan would reveal in a way that left no dry eye in the house. As Liv stood in the center of the ring, the crowd fell into an eerie hush. The usual cheers and chants faded away as the weight of the moment settled over everyone. Liv took a deep breath, her voice breaking as she began to speak. "I never thought I'd have to stand here and say this," she started, her words barely audible over the lump in her throat. "But tonight I need to share something with all of you, something that's been weighing on my heart." The crowd leaned in, hanging on her every word. Liv paused, visibly fighting back tears as she gathered the strength to continue. "Dominik, he's not here because he's going through something no one should ever have to face. And it's not my story to tell entirely. But as someone who cares deeply about him, I feel it's my responsibility to share what I can." She looked down, her hands shaking as she held the microphone. The audience could feel her pain, the raw emotion radiating from her as she struggled to find the words. "Dominik has always been one of the strongest, kindest, and most genuine people I've ever known. But even the strongest among us have battles we can't always see. He's been dealing with something personal, something devastating." The crowd was silent, the tension in the air almost unbearable. Liv continued, her voice cracking under the weight of her emotions. "Dominik has been dealing with a family tragedy that has turned his world upside down, and he asked me to be the one to share this with all of you because he knows how much you mean to him. You're not just fans to him, you're family. And he wants you to know that even though he can't be here right now, he feels your love and support." At this point, Liv had to stop, her tears flowing freely. As the audience began to chant Dominik's name, the support from the crowd was overwhelming, a testament to the love and admiration they had for the young superstar. Liv wiped her tears and took another deep breath before continuing. "Dominik wants you to know that he's fighting through this. He's staying strong for his family, for his friends, and for all of you. And while he might not be able to step into this ring right now, he's holding on to the hope that he'll be back stronger than ever." Liv's words resonated deeply, touching the hearts of everyone in the arena and those watching around the world. Her vulnerability, her willingness to share such a personal moment, reminded us all of the humanity behind the larger-than-life personas we see on screen. This wasn't just a story about wrestling. It was a story about love, resilience, and the unbreakable bond between a wrestler and their fans. Before leaving the ring, Liv had one final message. "Dominik asked me to tell you this. No matter what you're going through, no matter how hard things get, you are never alone. There's always someone who cares, someone who's willing to fight for you. And right now, he's fighting for all of us, just like we're fighting for him." The crowd erupted into applause, their cheers echoing through the arena as Liv dropped the microphone and walked backstage, tears streaming down her face. It was a moment that would go down in history, a moment that reminded us all of the power of vulnerability and the importance of supporting one another through life's toughest challenges. But before we move forward, I want to take a moment to thank some of the most incredible individuals who make all of this possible. Carmen Rosazado. Your unwavering kindness and encouragement light up this community in ways words can't express. Your support is the heartbeat of what we do, and I'm endlessly grateful for you. And to Barry Cooper. Your energy, positivity, and dedication are nothing short of inspiring. You remind us all to keep pushing forward no matter what obstacles come our way. To every single one of our amazing members, you are the foundation of this journey. Your love, your passion, your belief in what we do, it means the world. Thank you for being a part of this family. Liv stepped back into the center of the ring, her body language conveying a vulnerability that was completely unlike the confident and fierce Liv Morgan we'd come to know. The crowd grew silent as Liv took the microphone in her trembling hands, her face pale, her voice shaking. And then, as if the weight of the world had come crashing down on her, Liv Morgan broke the silence. Tears flow as I stand here tonight, not out of fear, but out of heartbreak, she began, her voice quivering with emotion. I never imagined that I would be delivering news like this, but sometimes life doesn't give us the chance to say goodbye in the way we wish we could. I'm here to tell you all that Dominik Mysterio is no longer with us in the way we know him. The words hung in the air like a heavy cloud. The crowd was stunned. Whispers began to ripple through the audience as people tried to comprehend what they had just heard. Liv paused for a moment, taking a deep breath before continuing. For those of you who know Dominik, you know that he's more than just a wrestler. He's a son, a brother, a friend, someone who's given everything to this industry, someone who's fought for every inch of respect he's earned. But what you may not know is that there's a side to Dominik that most of you have never seen, a side that he kept hidden from the world. And today, I'm here to tell you that it's time for that side to be exposed. Liv's voice cracked, and her eyes welled up with tears. The crowd's silence deepened as the magnitude of her words sank in. What had happened to Dominik? What was this hidden side that Liv was referring to? The mystery of it all hung in the air like an unsolved puzzle. I can't pretend like I understand what he's going through, Liv continued, wiping a tear from her cheek. Dominik has been fighting his own demons for a long time behind the confident persona, behind the bravado. There was a young man struggling with more than just the pressures of the ring. His heart, his soul, they've been in turmoil for a long time. And it breaks my heart to say this, but Dominik Mysterio, he's made a decision to step away from the wrestling world for good. The shock in the crowd was palpable. For many, this felt like an impossible reality. Dominik Mysterio, one of the rising stars of WWE, someone who had been built up to be a future champion, gone. Disbelief was written across the faces of fans, fellow wrestlers, and commentators alike. Liv took a moment to gather herself, her hands shaking as she gripped the microphone. He didn't want this, she whispered. He didn't want to let anyone down. But sometimes the hardest thing to do is walk away when you feel like you've failed, and that's exactly how he's feeling right now. The words stung, and Liv's pain was undeniable. She had been close to Dominik, perhaps closer than anyone realized. They had shared moments of camaraderie, of struggle, and of growth. To see him reach a point where he felt the need to walk away was a devastating blow for Liv. It was more than just a loss in the ring. It was a personal loss. I can't do this alone, Liv continued, her voice breaking. But I have to tell you all, as hard as it is to say, Dominik's decision was not because of the fans or because of the pressure. It was because he needed to take care of himself. He needed to find peace, and that's something I'll always respect. So please understand that this wasn't a decision he made lightly. It was a decision he made because he had no other choice. The silence in the arena was deafening. Fans were left in stunned silence, processing what they had just heard. Liv's honesty and raw emotion struck a chord with everyone who had been following Dominik's career. It wasn't just about the matches or the rivalries. It was about the man behind the character, the struggles that had been hidden away, and the pain that led to this heartbreaking moment. As Liv stood in the center of the ring, her heart heavy with the weight of the news she had just shared, she looked around at the crowd as if searching for answers, for comfort. The fans, moved by her vulnerability, began chanting his name. Dominik! 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 Tears continued to flow down Liv's face as she spoke her final words on the matter to Dominik Mysterio. Wherever you are, we love you, and we're all here for you. Always. The crowd erupted into applause, honoring the man who had captured their hearts and now the woman who had stood by his side through it all. Before I go any further into this story, I want to take a moment to express my deepest gratitude to all of you, the incredible members of our community who make everything we do possible. Carmen Rosazado. Your unwavering support and kindness have been a constant source of strength. Barry Cooper. Your belief in our journey has carried us forward, and I can't thank you enough. To all of our members, whether your names are listed here or not, you are the reason we continue to strive for greatness. Your loyalty and encouragement keep us going through the toughest times, and for that, I am forever grateful. But wait, there's so much more to discover. Click on the next video right here shown on the screen for more exclusive insights, reactions, and all the latest happenings in the wrestling world. You won't want to miss it. Every click helps us grow and brings you more amazing content, so please don't leave just yet. Join us for the next video and keep the wrestling conversation going.